Darkcast Network. Welcome to the dark side of podcasting.
Warning, the following podcast may occasionally contain strong language and material that is not suitable for all ages. If you are easily offended, it is highly advised that you turn back now. However, if you're a degenerate, welcome, brethren. You've found your home.
Welcome to the Crime Diner. We are a Jersey podcast, and on the menu is a variety of true crime, cults, mysteries, historical hilarities, and sometimes victim stories. We do this within a Dinner with Friends theme. I'm Nydia.
I'm Dana.
I'm Cindy.
Last week, I covered the precocious celebutante,
The White House darling.
the White House darling, Alice Roosevelt. You know, we covered all of her little shenanigans that she did.
Yeah.
That she was known for.
I was enamored by that story.
I was too. She was a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to hang out with her.
We love, like, a foremother
A foremother,
going
yes.
before us.
Yes.
you know, paving the way.
She is faulted, blamed by a few people as being the corrupter of femininity as we know it.
God forbid.
Yes. Like, she made it acceptable to be a bad girl in the, in the public
limelight,
eye.
yeah. I love that for her.
I do too. So what are you sharing this week?
Today I'm doing a request from Nydia about a TikTok that she saw to repay the favor of you doing my requested story last week. This case is still ongoing, and the actual crime only happened 6 months ago. So we will continue to follow this story as the court case commences.
Yeah.
But it's pretty straightforward what happened, but it's really sad and very recent. Today I'm going to tell you about the murder of a young man the age of our sons, who was on a hike with his girlfriend.
Hindsight being 2020, I had no idea this was a recent thing, and I don't like to cover recent things.
So everybody's gag ordered at the moment because the case is, pending. But initially the girlfriend was like talking a lot. So there is some information about their relationship and, everything that went on.
Okay.
And Vice, which I got a lot of my story from, did like a super deep dive on the social media of the, alleged culprits.
Oh.
So we do have some information that's just like out there, and I'm just going to tell you the story and what it is. And then I put a Google reminder on my laptop, so if it pops up, we should get a notification that, we can find out what happens in the end, hopefully.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a tragic story.
And I had no idea, and I'm kind of a little bit upset because I don't like to do recent.
Yeah, we normally don't cover recent stories like hello.
I don't care how popular they are.
Yeah,
I will not cover
the other thing too is this case has not gotten a ton of traction.
Oh.
There are like local news medias that covered it, but like it really doesn't seem like a story that, and that's the TikTok that you sent, right? Was a guy like explaining the case and being like, I can't believe this hasn't been picked up by major news outlets or whatever. But it isn't, it's a sad story, but it is.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So, except for what I sent you, which was like a little, excerpt.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll get into it.
But first, the food.
Let us pray.
Bless us, O patrons, for these thy gifts, which we are about to receive from thy donations through Patreon every month, under the power of the V Podcast.
Cult.
That looks like chicken and dumplings.
It sure is, Dana.
Fucking love chicken and dumplings.
Yeah. Look at those glistening carrots. They're just laying there in that yellow liquid.
Is it chicken and dumplings and apple pie?
Yes, it is.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, this is comfort food as it gets.
It's supposed to be black apple pie based on Arkansas.
Okay.
The chicken and dumplings came from looking at just multiple Appalachian recipes.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, so the story takes place in the Appalachian Mountains in Arkansas, but they're actually from Florida.
Were they hiking the Appalachian Trail?
They weren't hiking the trail, but yes, they were, on a hike.
All right.
What are we drinking?
You're drinking a Whiskey Mule.
A Whiskey Mule.
A Whiskey Mule.
All right.
All right, let's go.
All right. I'm weary of this. Sorry.
Was that the first time you ever had chicken and dumplings?
No.
Oh, okay. Because that's some white people food.
Yeah, that's definitely some white people
I
food.
love chicken and dumplings.
Yeah, no, I've only had it like a couple other times.
Yeah.
That was that smacked.
It smacked.
Wait,
Did it slap?
Slapped. That's what it did. I knew it was some type of physical violence.
I thought it was great.
Thank you.
Very herbaceous.
Herbaceous?
Herbaceous, yes. Lots of
Can you use
herbs.
that in a sentence?
There were many herbs in the chicken and dumpling, so it tasted herbaceous.
Got it. Origin of the word?
Not any white people's kitchens.
No, definitely not any white people's kitchen. Yeah.
So your first time making apple pie?
First time making apple pie. First time also making chicken and dumplings.
Oh my god,
Oh,
a
this
whole
is
meal
a-
of firsts.
A night of virgins.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
the apple pie was so good. It was a little tart.
Yes.
She killed it with the vanilla ice cream.
I mean.
Coming correct.
Ugh.
There was a caramel drizzle sauce.
I hear it comes from imported.
What?
The caramel.
It was from the Floridians. Also, the people from the story were from Florida, so that's apropos.
Apropos, yes.
Yeah, that was a fantastic meal. I already packed mine to go.
The big surprise of the night was the showing of the Whiskey Mule.
So the drink was the big surprise? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that was the big surprise of the night. For me, especially.
You loved it?
Yes, I started out really apprehensive about it. Cindy served me small, and now I'm like a little bit regretting it.
You want a little more?
I mean, she already put her greasy mouth on it, so no thanks. But yeah, it was good.
Too bad.
I tried to offer more before I did put my mouth on it.
She did. I did.
I
see
know.
that.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Regrets.
Don't
Regrets were had.
Yeah, I get it. So I'd like to discuss something with y'all.
What?
I have to pull it up so you can see. Because I think you should get a visual of what's been
my
happening.
God.
So I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast.
I love show and tell. I love Dana show and tell.
It might have been on Patreon. I don't know.
Okay.
Where I was talking about... I might have just been to you guys personally, where I was talking about someone who keeps... There's like a telemarketer of something that keeps calling me or texting me about my
Your old
ex's house.
yes.
Yeah. And I've had a series of ways to deal with this, but I have found one that I think is working.
Oh, okay.
So initially, it was super triggering for me to keep getting these text messages.
Right.
So
Well,
I would...
Why don't you re-explain what the situation
I
was?
would get these text messages where it would be like, "Hey, Dana," super like friendly,
familiar.
and also a lot of times they would call me my ex's name, like because they think. So what happened was, my ex and I had a house together, but the house was never my house. It was in my ex's name.
Right.
So when we got divorced, I moved out and my ex changed her number. But I guess the mortgage company or whoever had my phone number. So now that my ex changed her number, the only number that's there is mine. And they call me. They text me mostly.
Right.
Nobody really calls me. Well, I don't really answer numbers. I don't know. So I get these text messages that are really like, "Hey, Dana, I'd like to discuss with you the property at blah, blah, blah."
Right.
And initially I would be like, they would say, "Hey, my ex's name,"
Right.
blah, blah. And I'm like, many problems with this text message. 1, I'm not this person.
Right.
2, I never owned this home. 3, I haven't lived there for 3 years. And 4, it's been sold. We don't have
Right.
any, like, and why are you calling me? Like, whatever. So, initially I would flip out.
Right.
I would send them, like, "Fuck you, you monsters," like, blah, and just,
Yeah.
like, these very violent, like,
It would take up your time.
yes. And it was very angry. And then I thought, you are assaulting me with
Right.
unsolicited messaging.
Right.
So I will return the favor.
Uh-huh.
And I've been sending them a dick pic back. No words, just a dick pic. Or,
Is it your dick?
no. But it is a lot to look at.
Really? You have a dick?
No. But, so I asked someone I know. I was like, "Can you send me a dick pic of a dick that you may know?"
She got dick donations?
In like 2 minutes, she was
What
like,
the
"Absolutely,
fuck?
here's a dick pic." And I have been just saying like, "Oh," so the last text message specifically was like, "Hey, so-and-so, isn't the market so crazy? Ha ha ha.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to talk to you about the property if you'd like to sell it." And I'm just like, "Did you just ha 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 me in a text message?" So I was like, so I text them back and said, "Do you know what I think is funny?" And then I sent this picture, and I said,
Oh, that's a lot of dick. Oh, my God.
Oh.
She just put dicks in my eyeballs.
That's interesting.
Is this a dick that she knows?
It's her friend sent it to her. So I guess
That's a lot of dick.
it is a lot. And I have been sending it to every person that unsolicitedly texts me about this house. And I will tell you,
Have they been asking for the number?
no, they just never talk back to me. They never say another thing back. It's so funny. It's bringing me so much joy. I'm like, text me about it. I want to talk about the house. So yeah, I've been sending unsolicited dick pics to people.
I want to talk further about this.
I'm quite pleased with myself.
Is this a South Jersey dick?
I don't know.
This is a lot.
It was a lot of dick.
It's a lot of dick, Dana.
Are you interested in that?
But holy cow, girl.
I was like...
That's shocking to the eyes, bro. I would be... Why does a lesbian have a dick of that nature?
She's bisexual, so that's why I
Okay.
said, do you have a picture of a dick you might know?
And she was like, yes, girl, I got
she,
you.
literally in 2 seconds, she was like, here you go.
Holy
I was like, is this what you straight girls do? Like, send each other pictures of the dicks that you get? She's like, yes.
Is my daughter friends with that dick?
No.
Okay, so it's not...
No,
okay.
it's not her boyfriend's dick.
All right, Jesus, H.W. Christ in our year of the Lord.
Nydia's having a full-on moment.
Oh, God, the only thing that I'm upset about...
Nydia's like, where's my fidget spinner?
No, definitely not. I'm gagging a little in my mouth.
The only thing that's upsetting to me is that I don't get to see their reaction. You know, like, I'm not getting to see them, like, open this picture. Because I really wish I could.
Let me tell you, listener, a picture says 1,000 words. That picture,
It's a lot.
it's volumes. It speaks volumes.
It's a lot. So anyway, it's bringing me tons and tons of joy. I'm really thrilled about it. I'm really looking forward to, and I like to be really like individualized, right? Like you went, haha,
right.
Isn't the market so funny? Haha. I'm like, no, but you know what I think is funny? This giant dick. Do you want to see it? And then I send it to them. Like, someone was like,
No response.
no response. No one's responded to me yet. I'm waiting. Like, I want someone to like tell
How do
me
you know
it
it's
back
not a
off.
bot?
So the last person was like, one of the last people was like, oh, like they're very familiar, right? So they'll text me and be like, hey, did you ever hear from James? It was like, hey, my ex's name.
Right.
Did you ever hear from James about the property at blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, James who? Question mark?
Right.
And then they sent back, oh, James is the realtor that's interested in buying your property. I'm like, no, but you can tell James that I have something for him to buy. It's a giant dick. I sent the picture over. It's just how I'm really loving spending my free time. It's great for me.
Wow. So no response back.
No one's responded back.
How do you know it's not a bot?
Did we just have this conversation?
No, I know, but I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it could be a bot, and like, why are you the thief of joy? Leave me alone.
I know. Listen, I love this for you, and I'm thinking of borrowing that dick for scientific purposes like that.
You should.
Although I'm afraid to have a fucking penis picture on my phone because, like, sometimes I show my students like stuff that's on my phone, and I'm like, that would be.
I have it like it's in our text messages, so I just like hit share from her text message to mine, so it's not like saved in my phone, but like
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because little kids like to play with our phones
It's a
and
lie.
shit. Yeah. And that's a whole lot of offense.
it's a lot. I was like, oh, like when she said it, like I didn't know exactly what I was expecting to see, but I was not expecting all that. I was like, oh,
I thought I would see
Itty bitty.
no, I thought I would see like a thing slightly napping on a bed of like very bushy hair
no.
nestled in it
No.
even. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But that was like that was a sword completely out of its scabbard.
Be a man
Yeah.
by a tiny hand.
Yes. Was it okay?
It's
I
not-
don't want to see it
yeah,
again. Was it a female hand?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I was like, is that your hand? And she was like, no. And I was like, I'm really glad that this is like my hand.
Yeah, because, you would not be able to compete, but...
Oh, no, you can compete because we buy it to fit.
Did she know the hand?
She knows the hand. And then to deep dive, this poor person whose dick this is has no idea his dick is being sent to realtors all across New Jersey. And honestly, I'm so sorry. You shouldn't let people take pictures of your dick.
Also, I don't think they care.
I don't think so either.
That was a lot.
Speaking of seeing nudity at work.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
I wasn't at work, so...
Well, they are the receivers at work.
She just segued.
Nice job.
I'm trying.
Hey, great job.
Okay, so I'm at work. You guys know I have a little cubicle. Mm-hmm. So it's so tiny. So for a meeting, I decided I had a virtual meeting with all the youth coordinators for multiple states to this day.
Okay.
So I decided, let me take my laptop because I knew it was going to be like interactive. So I took my laptop into one of the conference rooms and closed the door. And I decided I'm just listening right now because you're presenting, and I'm just going to listen, and I'm going to post for the podcast the stuff to Twitter. Mm-hmm. So I'm posting on Twitter. Thankfully, I have myself muted and I have my phone muted. Mm. Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God. Because as I'm waiting for my post to go through, I'm just scrolling through Twitter. And did you know that they give you no warning when the naked stuff comes up?
No, I didn't know that.
Like, there is no, there is sensitive or unsafe stuff underneath it here. No. Do you still want to click? There is no protection. It is like full on...
Raw dog
right there.
All right.
And I'm like, the first picture that popped up, I'm like, oh, immediately block, right? So I keep scrolling.
She means save for later.
Yeah.
Immediately block.
It was a penis.
It was not.
Oh,
it was block it.
Yeah, come on.
Immediately block. Okay. So I scrolled up.
Each his own.
Scrolled up, and then it's a full-on video, full-on porn on Twitter, and I am like,
that seems off.
Elon.
This is unacceptable.
Elon's fault? Yeah.
Uncle Elon is fucking up. So immediately, again, block.
I
notice it's somebody that I follow that's liking this stuff.
No.
Because on the third one I scroll, it's the same name is liking the stuff. So it's not even somebody I follow that's coming up on my page. On my feed.
Shut the fuck up.
It's somebody I'm like, I know.
The way I would end my existence.
The shit that I like too.
So
real.
Trust me, Dark Lord is fine. Okay? Dark Lord is fine. That's the person. Okay? So I scroll up and then another nudie, and I put all of it together, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to just mute this person on Twitter. Yeah. So all their porn that they're fully enjoying at the middle of the day is not going to come up on my feed on Twitter with no kind of image blocking.
Yeah.
No image blocking.
Not safe for work.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I am like just thankful I am not scrolling through Twitter in my open cubicle where people love to come in and want to talk to me.
Over your shoulder.
Over my shoulder.
What you looking at?
And then some people like to sneak up on you.
Yeah. A little lunch porn.
I'm like, unacceptable, Elon. Uncle Elon is over there fucking up Twitter, man. I mean, for real.
Well, we don't want no censorship, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
let it all hang out.
Let it all hang out.
No, it was hanging out.
Someone commented on a comment that I had on a TikTok video. Uh-huh. And that TikTok video was not particularly like a viral or anything. So it was odd that this person had seen my comment. And I said like, oh, that's funny that you like randomly saw my comment on this like giant whatever. She goes, oh, for some reason I get notification about every comment you make. And I was like, say come again now. What's this? What? I'm like, I be kicking game on TikTok. Like, are you okay?
Someone knows your secrets.
somebody is requesting to see the notifications that you got.
She was very. That's an odd thing to have happen. Like, that's an odd thing. Don't you think that's odd? I think that's odd because I be talking shit on TikTok. Like, hey girl, that's some nice eggs you made. Like how you flip them eggs in the morning. You want to come flip eggs at my house?
You are a totally different person than you were when we started. Totally different. Oh my god. Oh. You're such a man whore. Love
oh my god, I wanted to die. You. I was like, well, I guess I can't comment on anybody's TikToks anymore.
No, it's just not right. You keep commenting. You keep commenting.
It's terrible. Why are you trying to harsh my vibe? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes. If you're liking stuff on Twitter,
yeah. I didn't know that.
People that follow you can see you.
See, that's
fully
why
enjoying.
I don't really comment
porn.
on Facebook because of that. Because like you'll see like,
really,
like you know when someone will be like, there'll be like a news article or something on Facebook, and it'll be like Megan from 3rd grade is having an argument in this comment, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta stop doing that because I'll be embarrassing myself. You know what I mean? So I don't really do that on Facebook anymore. But I really didn't think the TikTok was like showing my business like that. You know what I mean?
And the things that we look at on these things, like I have some weird. I mean, not that they're kinks. I like to see puppies drinking milk.
That's a wildly specific friend.
I do. I like to see puppies drinking milk.
Slow-mo?
So I send it to my kids. No, I send it to my kids, and so specifically my son responded, and he was like, "Oh God, Mom! Now everything on my Instagram feed is puppies drinking milk."
Yeah. Have you seen turtles eating strawberries?
No.
Buckle up, bitch. Enjoy the next afternoon because it is a wild ride. They just like real slow, like
Really?
Yeah, it's so cute, so adorable.
Oh no, I love it. I have gone down the turtles orgasming rabbit hole.
That's fun. Yeah,
I have done that,
and we've seen that live. So
yes, we have. Yeah. So I watch a lot of things that are just like, but why?
Yeah.
You know
my algorithm is very weird.
Yes.
My algorithm will be like protesting and then men getting toupees put on and then, sex therapists talking about better ways to maintain long relationships and, little 3-year-old kids like, get dressed with me. And then, and it's just very strange and weird.
Yeah.
So we're just out here living, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like trying to do our best.
And think about it, for every time that you laid, if there's Russian spies on the other side of my phone camera, they're seeing me like sitting here, like, I don't know, picking my nose like real deep.
Oh yeah, knuckles deep.
And just like watching puppies drinking milk.
Yeah.
With a big old stupid smile on my face.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good. And also
the
from
U.S.
the angle,
is no threat.
Truly. Did you ever see those TikToks like, turn your phone around right now and see what angle you are?
Yeah,
and
you're always like,
turning around, I'm like, oh God.
Like looking like a thumb.
Like, why is my chest trying to swallow my face?
With my phone resting on my wang, my third, like my tire around my belly or something, or on my tits, just fully resting there, full of crumbs.
Yeah,
food all over my face.
I literally, Cindy was like, "You have ice cream all over your shirt." I'm like, I don't know, man.
It's just gross.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
you have a story to tell.
Yeah, and we're about to take it way down.
Yeah.
So I'm so sorry.
That's the end of the laughs here. But I hear it's crazy.
It's a lot, yeah.
Hello, my name is Mallory Jenna Robinson. Join me in listening to A Hateful Homicide, a true crime podcast dedicated to telling the stories of the trans and gender non-binary communities. Tune in Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find us on Apple Podcasts by typing in A Hateful Homicide, and you can also find us on Anchor and Spotify by typing in A Hateful Homicide. Follow us on IG at A Hateful Homicide, and you can follow me at Mallory Jenna 90. Again, tune in on Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen, And I appreciate each and every one of you and your efforts to helping stop trans erasure and supporting all trans lives. Thank you.
Hello, Spooklings.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Kathy.
And we're the hosts of the weekly podcast, All Hallows Eve Podcast.
We are a husband and wife duo with a passion for anything spooky, macabre, and true crime, sprinkled with our own twist of comedy.
We explore topics such as the history of Halloween, the Butcher of Plainfield, Hocus Pocus 2, urban legends, superstitions, and more.
So come join us as we go down the rabbit hole that is All Hallows Eve Podcast.
Listen and follow us at allhallowsevepodcast.com or your favorite podcast provider.
Stay spooky, my friends.
So today I got my story from Vice.com, The Guardian, Nichols Student Media, MyNBC15.com, ABC3340.com. Adam Simjee was 22, and his girlfriend Mikayla, 20, were taking a little hike in the Appalachian Mountains. And they were visiting the Talladega National Forest in Alabama before they were continuing their trip to Arkansas.
Hiking or like they were
in
on
a car.
Road trip? Okay.
They were on a little road trip. Their road trip was to celebrate a new journey in the couple's relationship as they set to begin studying together at the University of Central Florida the next week. So they're both college students. They had been just celebrating this new path that they were on. The couple had been dating for 4 years, and they were about as cute as you could possibly imagine. Like, they're just adorable. Adam was a Florida native and a UCF finance student, while Mikayla was studying to be a marriage counselor. Even though he was introverted, those who knew him couldn't help but love Adam. Mikayla's family loved him dearly, and he treated her siblings like his own. This is why I was crying this morning. Adam was raised in a Muslim family, but he embraced Christmas with Mikayla and her family when he was exposed to the holiday. Adam made a working Santa's village for Mikayla's family, complete with a moving train, lights, and presents.
What?
He made her younger siblings a dartboard that they could throw darts at to get money for their presents. Like, he really...
Oh, my God. Like, he really got into it.
He got into it.
That's so thoughtful.
He loved their family. He was just a nice young kid. Just a really nice kid.
Yeah.
Besides being deeply loved by his own family and Mikayla's family, his friends adored him as well. His best friend Sebastian's mother, Pilar Renteria, said both boys loved to explore the woods and they were typical kids playing pranks and joking around. He was always helping around her house and hanging around with her son and just, like, was part of the family. It seemed like Adam was just the kind of kid that would just become part of whatever family he just, like, showed up and everybody
friendly.
Embraced him, yeah.
Aww.
He would help cook with her and take care of the plants around their home. Adam was so often at their house that she would just make dinner for him even if he wasn't expected because they knew he probably would show up at some point. He would come to big family occasions, graduations, and holidays. Even if his best friend couldn't be there, he came anyway.
Oh, that's so thoughtful.
She worked at Lowe's with Adam, and she said that he would bring laughter into the employee areas and a nurturing spirit to the garden section. He was a plant enthusiast, so he had all these plants, and he would combine them to try to make different species of plants. He was just like a cool little smart dude, you know? And she said he left me with probably 1,000 plants.
Wow.
So Adam was the type of person who would always help someone in need. He loved helping coworkers and customers, treating homeless people to McDonald's, and helping strangers with car troubles. Adam wasn't afraid to stop on the side of the road to help people, and it was just his instinct.
So it's what we really needed more of in this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just a nice kid, you know? Like, just like, and you look at pictures of him, like, he's just, like, bopping around, like, really cute kid, you know?
That extra sucks because, like, you know, you think of all the evil people that are out there just living, you know, and then you have like a nice kid that would have contributed to society.
Yeah, and he was smart, like he was going to school for finance. You know, it's just,
that sucks.
Mikayla was quoted saying, "There was a time we were driving around and a truck was pulled over with concrete spilling out of it. Adam pulled over and helped them load the concrete back in. He's helped people push their cars up the street multiple times." So he's just, you know, out here helping people, you know, when he sees trouble and he tries to help. It is what it is. So now let's shift the story a bit. Let's talk about Yasmin Hyder. and her new friend and travel companion, Crystal Pinkins. So Yasmin is 20 and Crystal is 36. Aside from Crystal, everybody's 20 years old. These are young kids.
Right, young kids.
Yasmin Hyder is a hardworking college student in 2020. She was enrolled at Langston University in Oklahoma. A family member of Yasmin was quoted saying that she left home a year or two ago and she hasn't spoken to the family since. So, like, it seems like in 2020 she was a college student, maybe COVID or whatever, like, around the time of COVID, she just dips. Okay. Like, the family doesn't really know what happens to her. You can see her on social media, and a lot of the information we're going to talk about is from Vice doing a deep dive into her social media and talking to her family, talking to the school, so it's a lot of pieced together stuff.
All right.
Okay, but we don't actually know, what happened. A lot of speculation here at this point. The court records and social media posts show that her father died when she was a teenager. She has one sibling and was seemingly raised by a tight-knit extended family who were all very excited that she was attending the same college that they had attended. Crystal Pinkins listed herself on LinkedIn as a certified home health aide, where she wrote that she worked for the same company in Tennessee for 9 years. So Vice reached out and tried to verify that. They couldn't say whether she was or wasn't without her social security number, but that's just what her LinkedIn says. So she also listed herself on social media as a freelance writer and aspiring motivational speaker, and she wrote a series of posts for a content website called Thought Nova with headlines such as 7 reasons to value a good morning text and 10 ways proving that happiness starts with you. So, whatever.
Innocuous enough.
Yeah,
so
right.
Yeah.
It is what it is. People are making money like this hand over fist, From the Vice deep dive into their socials, it seems like these women became interested in more esoteric ideas in the recent years. Specifically following social media accounts focused on Black sovereignty, the freedom from mainstream systems of thought and social control, New Age spiritual empowerment, and various conspiracy theories. Okay. Yasmin changed her Instagram name at some point in the last 2 years from Y-Hyder to Cosmic Goddess, and would post about her stance against the COVID vaccine, posting links to what look like flat earth conspiracy videos, questioning what NASA is hiding about the firmament. It's a biblical reference to the dome above Earth that, I started reading it and it's
in the Bible?
I think there's probably a reference and someone took it.
Yeah, and just
it's about it sounds like this referring to the ozone or the clouds between the earth and the sky, and that NASA's hiding shit there. We'll get into it in a minute, but if you want to...
Okay, it sounds to me like these 2 girls do not shave their legs or armpits for fear of losing their power.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
And I will say that, and I was telling you guys this while we were eating, it certainly seems like Vice was, coming down hard on this is some woo-woo shit that got out of hand, but we'll get into that a little bit more.
All right.
But I don't know what the firmament is. I started looking into it, and there's a lot of posts on their Instagram about the shit that's in the cloud that's blocking us from they tried to hide the sun and block us from our knowledge and but it's keeping us from our power. It was very out there stuff.
Yes.
In late 2021 and early 2022, Yasmin was making a series of dancing challenges on TikTok, just regular shit we were all doing on TikTok, right?
Yes.
In September of that year, she was still in Oklahoma working at Walmart and asking for other spiritually curious people in the region to contact her, stating that it's coming without any elaboration. In one video from the time, quote, "It's getting closer. I am lost myself and I need a tribe of people to gather information and figure it out together because that's the true way and going back to how we originally were," unquote. And I was thinking about it. And it's almost to what you what you would say, right? We're not supposed to be this big. And
right.
All of what this is in and of itself is not too crazy. You know what I mean? But when you stack it all up like this, it's not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She's making very broad statements.
Very broad, very woo-woo. Talk to 3 people I work with and you might hear some of the same shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know what I mean?
Right.
So... by March 2022, her videos appeared to be taken in cars or modest hotel rooms and often featured her recording her own face and taking quizzes. So, she's moving from, her home in Oklahoma to, now she's in a hotel room, she's in the car. something is happening.
Taking quizzes, like from Cosmo?
I don't know, or maybe like those games on TikTok.
Flower are you?
Yeah, right, like those little things that spin around on your head.
Oh, okay, so we're still being trivial.
Yeah, but weird. Maybe a little strange, but like, yeah.
All right. So
but
flat earthy, yet still
Yeah, but I think the point that they're trying to make is that she was still in Oklahoma.
Yes.
And then within a short span of months, she's on the move. She's in a car. She's not in her home. She's in a hotel room.
Right.
She goes very quickly from like Oklahoma and being a college student to being homeless. Or I don't even know if you would call it like houseless or like not living in a steady
on the road,
on the move, certainly
a camping situation.
Yes,
a nomadic situation.
Yes, in a car, living with her friend.
That sounds like mental illness.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I obviously we're not going to like diagnose her, but it seems very quick.
Oh, I am. She's paranoid schizophrenic.
Shut up.
It's a classic case.
Thank you, doctor. So her last video, posted on April 24th, 2022, features her meditating, reading Rupi Kaur poems in a green field. And like a quote from a video earlier that week said, "I've never been at more peace than right now." So, just like if your young cousin, like, is going out finding herself. Yes, exactly. That's what it seems like, right? So both Yasmin and Crystal become fans of something called the University of Cosmic Intelligence, the project of a man named Rashad Jamal White. So Jamal is a content creator who describes himself on Instagram as an author, a poet, a revolutionary, and a luminous being. He likes to use the University of Cosmic Intelligence Instagram and YouTube accounts to promote his music videos. And in these videos, he is surrounded by women covering topics like Kundalini energy and how to cleanse your chakras. The videos are aimed at the awakening of Black and Latino people, whom he refers to as carbonated beings.
Carbonated? Because we're a little fizzy?
Right here.
Carbonated, yeah.
Carbonated beings.
Full of gas.
Interesting. That we are.
Maybe he means carbon
humans.
Carbon
we are carbon based.
Yeah, but if you're carbonated,
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm just saying that's what he says. On Twitter, he likes to focus on the virtues of polygamy. All of these things are not necessarily bad or inherently evil in nature, but coming from the wrong person, these things can go south really fast, right?
Yes.
He hasn't been able to post anything on his Instagram or on any of these sites because he has been in the Barrow County Detention Center in Georgia, facing 3 counts of child molestation and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the first degree.
Oh, so that's who we really want as an enlightened individual.
Yeah, and if you go, the website is, you can go to the University of Cosmic Intelligence, and like there's a website, and it's his website, and it's a lot, yeah. Wow. You can go to you can go to the Instagram and you can see his last videos, and they're very, they're just, it's a lot. It's what you'd expect and then way worse.
Oh, God. All right.
Public databases show that he has a lengthy rap sheet. He has pled guilty to battery and strangulation and suffocation. He's also previously been charged but not convicted of attempted murder and murder. So this is who they are like
shows to follow.
Following. And when I say following, like, following on Instagram, following on YouTube, like spouting some of his, sharing his videos, like, I don't mean following like they live with him in an encampment, but like, following in the sense of like, this is
his philosophy.
Yes, his philosophy. And there's like, I suggest you read the Vice article because it really goes into what they believed, and it's some very far out shit. And it's like one of those instances, in my opinion, like when you go so far left, you come back around to right. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. And like, it's one of those things like we all like, I'm very guilty of this, of being like, hearing something that I deeply,
something that resonates with you,
really resonates with me, and this happens to me a lot. Like I will listen to podcasts, or I will like see a video or TikTok or whatever, something that like really, really resonates with me, and then I'll like go over to their page and like see what else they're posting, and like, I could see how very, very easily, if you don't have the presence of mind or the wherewithal to be like, okay, but I still make my own decisions.
Right.
That this could become a very slippery slope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So some of this stuff is not inherently bad, right? Like to find, your power, to find your peace, to find yourself and things that you believe deeply in.
To
and
meditate.
All of that is beautiful. And like, absolutely. Like, but just be careful. You know what I mean? Like, it can become too much, you know? So that's where they are. But by May 2022, the two women who have been seemingly traveling together. We don't really know, like, how they met, like, maybe through this group. There's other people that, like, tag them in pictures. So it like, seems like they're in this group that is, like, associated with this University of Cosmic Intelligence. So, but, like, we just don't know how these two women, like, at this point got together, but they're traveling together in the car.
And hear me out on something. When a lot of this happens during, when you start to enter your 20s, right? You're very suggestible, right? And that's also the time that your frontal lobe finishes developing, right? And that, like, solidifies your personality and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And that's usually when, like, mental illness starts to really rear its head, right? So I'm thinking, like, these young girls, well, the one, not the other one, she's 36, but she's, like, really suggestible.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
of course. And that's why you'll get a lot of people who homeschool their kids that don't want their kids to go to college because they don't want them to learn, like, suggestible things. Like, it makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, not that I agree with it or whatever, but, like, you do understand, like, yeah, of course you're sending your, like, very suggestible kid off into college.
Right.
To the, like, God forbid if you're, like, a,
fundamentalist Christian.
Yeah, and you're like saying your kid, of course you're like, I want him to go to this Christian college, but like, say they get into an art school, forget it. You know what I mean? Yes. Like, God forbid.
Throw that daughter away.
Yeah, right.
She's gone wild.
Right. So it's just like, yeah, you're at 20 years old, 22, even till 25, whoever, like,
you're still learning.
You're still learning, yeah. I mean, fucking Christ, like, you just said a minute ago, like, I'm, like, not the person I was 3 years ago.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're always ever growing, but, like, also now, like, I feel like as a fully formed adult, like, yeah, I'm suggestible to things, but also I know that ultimately it comes down to me to make the right.
Well, what it is you have confirmation bias. Everybody does.
Sure, yeah.
So you have already, like, a seed of a belief in you, and then you see somebody, confirming that, and then you follow that.
Over and over and over.
And then you tend to see more confirmation of whatever it is that you want. And it's like, okay, yeah, they're on my vibe.
Yeah.
And then you're no longer thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
You're letting them think for you. And that's the slippery slope.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when I learned about confirmation bias, I was like, that shit, like, blew my brain open.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, holy shit.
But
like,
you know what? I knew that confirmation bias didn't work on me because when I was a little wee child, I used to watch Rush Limbaugh. And I hated him.
Yeah.
I hated everything he stood for. But I wanted to know what the other side was thinking so that I could say, yeah, I definitely don't side with that asshole.
But, like,
I don't know why.
I would think, like, the majority of the population that is not the case for.
Yeah.
Even if you, like, hate watch something, you like end up being impelled by it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's
but
just,
I was just always like, oh, you're wrong, fucker. You're wrong. Like, this is not what it is. You don't even know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? So, and then a lot of other times I would be like, okay, I can understand why somebody would think that.
Sure, yeah.
But it's wrong. You know what I mean? That's not what I believe.
Yeah.
But I can understand why somebody would think that.
Absolutely.
Just like you said, you can understand why somebody would think that.
Sure.
And
I don't have to agree with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And how some people go so far left that it's right back to the right.
Yeah.
They become fundamentalists.
Well, the vaccine is a good example, right?
Right.
Like, the vaccine is something that many woo-woo, like, hippy-dippy, yogi, like, whatever, who would traditionally, I'm not talking about these people, I'm just saying in general, who traditionally would be, like, super liberal and probably vote very liberally, but then you start talking about vaccines and putting things in their kids and putting things in their body, and then all of a sudden you're both on the same page about these vaccines, and it's like, oh, well, this president's making us do that, and it's very easy to loop that back around, you know what I mean? So that's a very good example of that.
Yeah.
That's like...
And it's divisive as fuck.
Absolutely.
Because you're either on my side or you're against me.
That's it and that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. And when you get somebody who's charismatic, this is every cult situation, right? You get this charismatic person who sounds like they know what they're talking about or says a bunch of words.
With a lot of confidence.
With tons of confidence and says a bunch of words that you don't know or that resonate with you or their trigger words or whatever they are.
And it could literally be any kind of fucking bullshit, bro.
Nothing.
Like...
This guy is talking about wonky shit.
Christianity has had a narcissistic God like making his disciples kill their own children and shit. Like sacrifice him for me. Ha ha. You
just
know,
kidding.
It didn't work. Just kidding. I just want to see if you would go there. You know what I'm saying? So anybody, Christians be like, oh, why would you believe that cult? They were so wacky. Well, I mean, if you look into the Bible a little bit.
Because we're all looking for something. We're all looking for something.
For guidance.
Yeah.
Tell me what to think.
For belonging, like...
I don't trust myself. Tell me what to think.
Yes. It's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier. So anyway, like I said, by May 2022, these women are traveling together. Yasmin made a post saying she was in Colorado. They had to abandon their car after a search and rescue team came. They got kicked out of a hotel. They were sitting in a Dunkin' Donuts, and any assistance would be appreciated. And they had like put their links to like Cash App and shit. And the Cash App was Crystal Pinkins. So
did they get any money?
I don't know. But from here, we don't know how. So they're in Colorado, and then they're in Alabama, right? So now here's where the paths cross from Adam and Mikayla and Yasmin and Crystal.
The Appalachian Trail goes through Alabama?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
All the way to like Alabama, Mississippi, like all the way up, yeah. Like way further than you think.
Oh, shit.
It's crazy, yeah. So we don't know how they made it from Colorado to Alabama, but this is where their paths cross. The initial reporting the day of the incident was that the couple was flagged down while driving, but in my deeper research, it seems that they were flagged down while they were walking.
While they were hiking?
Where they were hiking,
okay.
Yeah. They were flagged down by Yasmin and Crystal, and they were saying that they needed help with their car. So the couple tries to help the women for over an hour, even calling Mikayla's dad to ask questions because he's a mechanic. Like how lucky to stumble upon a girl whose dad's a mechanic, right? Call him on the phone. They're trying all these things. Nothing's working. So after an hour, out of nowhere, Yasmin pulls a gun on the couple and tells them to walk in the woods.
What the fuck? Why?
So she wants them to drop their cell phones and give her their passwords to the phones and their banking information.
Oh, so she's robbing them?
Yeah.
Okay.
But little does she know that Adam has a concealed firearm as well.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So Mikayla says, Adam pulled out his gun and he told her, meaning Yasmin, to get on the ground. And that's when she started messing around with her gun. It jammed once, but they both shot at each other. She was shot a few times and Adam was shot once. Mikayla found her phone in the woods and she managed to call 911 despite poor cell service and at least one dropped call.
So Mikayla ran?
Mikayla, Yasmin walked them into the woods.
Right, yeah.
Adam turns around, pulls the gun on her. Mikayla's just standing there, watching the whole thing. They shoot each other, and they both go down.
Okay.
So Mikayla grabs her cell phone. She calls 911. It drops the call. She calls them
Where's
back.
the other girl?
The other girl runs. As soon as the shooting starts.
Oh,
Crystal,
shit.
she runs away.
She runs away.
Mikayla rips her shirt off. She uses it as a tourniquet to stop Adam's bleeding, and she begins performing CPR.
Your voice is cracked.
Yeah, this is sad. Adam is shot in the back, and Yasmin is shot in the leg and the abdomen. It took police over 30 minutes to get to them, and despite her efforts, Adam died at the scene. So it's like poor 20-year-old kid, rips her clothes off, tries to make a tourniquet to save her boyfriend, and does CPR on him for a half an hour. Anyway, Mikayla is quoted saying that the girl was asking if she could get away because she had a child and she needed food and it wasn't supposed to be like this and she can't go to jail, but she couldn't get away because her femur was shattered. So she was just laying on the ground. So Yasmin is laying on the ground bleeding also.
Asking for her mercy from Mikayla?
Yeah.
And she has just shot her boyfriend dead?
Yes. Mikayla says, we would have given you food. We would have given you money. I already told her that. You didn't have to shoot him. It's just so fucking sad. When police arrived, they airlift Yasmin to Birmingham Hospital where she underwent surgery for her injuries. And like I said, Adam died at the scene. But Mikayla told them there was another woman who had run off when the shooting started. And so then they're on the hunt for Crystal.
Okay.
So over the next several hours, sheriff deputies receive information that there may be a group of people living, quote unquote, off the grid somewhere in the national forest. This group was reported to be armed and potentially violent. You know, in the couple of readings of this in different news articles, it sounded like it was an empty encampment. Like that they were the only people staying there. There was a bunch of tents there.
Okay.
But maybe they were only people staying. There's no reference to any other people. There's no reference to a whole bunch of other people living in the woods. There were a bunch of tents, so maybe they all scattered. I don't really know. The way the story is initially brought to my attention was it was a cult. They were living in a cult in the woods. So it's just, I don't know.
Right.
I'm just telling you what.
Right, because it's still in preliminary investigations.
Yeah. They believe they may be armed and dangerous. They, whatever. So a dog tracking team from the Alabama Department of Corrections was contacted, and they responded. The sheriff's office said that the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency was also contacted and provided aerial observation to overwatch for the deputies on ground. So it's like a fucking manhunt for this girl. The sheriff's office said the tracking team led law enforcement to a large group of tents that had been set up in the national forest, and it appeared to be a base camp. It was about a half mile from the scene of the attempted robbery. The sheriff said law enforcement officials approached the base camp and they saw a woman standing near the tents, which is Crystal.
Okay.
As the officer ordered the woman onto the ground, a 5-year-old boy runs out of the woods with a loaded shotgun.
What the fuck?
So law enforcement told the child... A 5-year-old with a loaded shotgun.
Nobody wants to be the shooter.
Yes. And what the fuck? There's a little kid with a loaded fucking shotgun.
And I'm sure the shotgun's taller than him.
Yeah, imagine. And 1 million cops and dogs and helicopters, and it is a bad scene.
Right.
It's
and also, I'm assuming he's a little black child, right?
He's a little black kid.
Who wants to be the police officer in Alabama to shoot a 5-year-old?
I mean, who wants to be the police officer that ever shoots a 5-year-old? Oh, God, the whole thing is so bad.
It's stomach turning. Bad. So what was this 5-year-old doing in a homeless encampment?
So he's Crystal's son.
Okay.
And it seems like... This is my pure
conjecture. Just complete, yeah.
That they were like, we're going to go get some money, stay here hidden with the shotgun, and if anybody comes...
Right.
Shoot them, I guess?
That poor baby.
I don't know. That's my only understanding. Why the fuck would this kid have a loaded shotgun?
Right, and if he shot it, it would, literally shoot him out.
Oh, my God.
You know what I'm saying?
And if he shot it and, God forbid, he, hit some... But,
oh, my God, yeah.
A shotgun is, it's just... It's all bad. It's so bad. Officer order her, tell the child to put the gun down. He does not. He walks slowly towards his mother. Once he gets by her side, they get the gun on the ground, thankfully, safely. And, she's arrested and he's put into custody.
Right.
A local judge imposed a gag order on the case, so no attorneys, witnesses, law enforcement personnel, district attorney, staff members, nobody can talk about this on the media or online at all. Jail records for Clay County show that Hyder and Pinkins are both in custody. Yasmin Hyder faces 1 charge for murder, 2 charges for kidnapping in the first degree, and 2 counts of robbery in the first degree. Crystal Pinkins faces 1 count of endangering the welfare of a child, 1 count of murder, and 2 counts of kidnapping in the first degree. 2 counts of robbery in the first degree.
So the same charges.
Except endangering the welfare of a child.
So she got even more than
because
the
she
shooter.
gave her son a shotgun and said, fucking hide in the woods or whatever the fuck she did. Yeah. Mikayla, in a Facebook post grieving about Adam's killing, says... My reason for being my soulmate, my life partner, the future father of my children, died in the middle of a state park in Alabama. No words can describe the shock and pain I am in. Adam is the best person I have ever met on the face of this entire planet. He was the most pure soul, and he made sure I knew I would be safe when I was with him. It comforts me to say that he passed in one of his favorite places, the forest in the mountain. She added... Losing Adam was my biggest fear. I always asked him what he expected me to do if he died, and his answer was to take care of our children. So that's what I'll do. I'll try to fight every day not to leave our 3 cats, our fur children behind. But this is and was the hardest thing I've ever dealt with. No other scenario could match this pain. I wish I could hold your hand one last time.
Oh, God.
I'll love you forever, Adam Simjee. Thank you for being my hero every day for 4 years, the best 4 years of my life.
Oh my God.
So, the case is pending, obviously.
Right.
And, sorry, I've been sobbing about this case for 2 days.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
There was this really cute picture of her, and she's in some sort of traditional Muslim garb, and so was he, and he was feeding her a date, and I guess that's in the Muslim culture, that's how, they celebrate, their wedding vows or something.
Okay.
So she was in my heart, I was married to him, and just, you can, it's really sad. The whole thing is, so fucking sad, and this poor kid just, was helping these strangers and lost his life, so it's fucked up.
Needlessly, because he would have given them the help that they
would have given them,
yeah,
what do you want? You want money?
Exactly.
He would have given you food. What did you need? Yeah.
Right.
What do you want? The bank accounts of a 20-year-old? What the fuck? 20-year-old college students? They don't have any money.
Yeah.
It's
so
just
sad.
Yeah.
And he was helping them.
Yeah. Like, how do you, like, someone took an hour out of their time to, like, try to fix your car, and they were being so helpful.
Right.
And you, like, still pulled a gun on them. It's just so crazy.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, I guess you're going to keep us updated on this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If I hear anything about it, yeah. So more will be revealed as the case,
Oh my God. I hate doing, recent crimes because of that. You know what I mean? It's so like...
I think the reason you initially sent me that TikTok, because in the TikTok video they talk about this 5-year-old showing up with a gun.
Right.
And I think that was like
about that.
Yeah, I think that was like what was so like jarring about the case.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like it does lend itself to like be a very interesting story, interesting case, but like it's still ongoing. It's
it made it sound like it was more like a cult in the woods kind of thing.
And it may be
like a David Koresh kind of situation, which I live for.
Yes.
But dude, I didn't know it was dark, like that dark. Sheesh.
Yeah, it's like any time like a person just like and senselessly, loses their life. It's just like, what the fuck, man?
Right.
Like,
anybody losing their life is senseless, but this boy,
just like
he just
this
seemed
nice kid, like in a with his cute little girlfriend and his whole future ahead of him, working like had a little job and working hard to pay for his college and with his family and just trying to be a nice guy and
Well, I hope the family gets justice, although, you never get the person back, so
she said she's quoted somewhere being like, I read so many quotes. She, initially, before there was a gag order, she was talking to news agencies. Like, if you go on her Instagram, you can see, like, she has a memorandum of just, like, their whole relationship. I just can't even talk. Right. Like, I watched the whole thing. It's just so, it's really beautiful, but it's just really, really sad. But she was like saying like we would have given like there's no fucking reason.
Right.
She's like, I've said all I can say now.
Right.
And I'll say it in court. And that's where she's at the moment.
And it sounds like Yasmin knew that they were nice people when she made the when she begged them to like let her go because she had a 5-year-old, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, well, what the fuck? Why don't you just say, hey man, I got a kid, I don't have any, like, give me your money? Like, what do you have to pull a gun on him for? Like, what the fuck?
Fucking crazy. But, there's going to be a defense attorney that is going to be like, well, he pulled a gun on her, and that's why she shot him. Is that what you were going to say?
And that's where I was going to go. Yeah. It's like, what are they saying? And that's probably why there's a gag order.
Maybe, yeah.
What are they saying? Are they saying he's the one that did it to them?
Yeah, what I heard was that he, like, his gun was, like, illegal conceal and carry, like, they're allowed to carry
from Florida, especially.
Florida, yeah, he's from Florida, yeah, and into Alabama, and wherever the
I'm
fuck
sure it's like
it's
all
the same,
there,
So, but that's just what I know at this point. That like it was a registered gun owner, and it said something about like, oh, he believed in his amendment rights, whatever the fuck, and like, what would have happened if he didn't have the gun? Like, I don't know,
right?
So yeah, I don't know. It's sad.
It makes my stomach hurt.
Yeah, this was a sad case.
Yeah.
I want to kill you. When I was like reading this week, I'm like,
now we have to bring up like something funny next time.
Okay, I'll try to pick something funny.
It's so hard too.
Yeah.
All right, well that's it for us, and hopefully we'll see you next week. We didn't bum you out. In the meantime, you can subscribe so you don't miss out. We have merch, Patreon, buy me a coffee, all that shit. I'm like so upset.
No.
You can write a review and share our podcast with somebody. Let me give you an example of a review to write us. This is a 5-star review, or an A+ work assignment. Okay, an A+ assignment here. A little dancey dance. I literally do a little dance when the new episodes pop up. Dana, Nydia, and Cindy have amazing chemistry. We're carbonated. The stories and banter keep a smile on my face, and my mouth waters thinking of the food Cindy makes.
Dirty.
Oh, I love that. A watery mouth. I'm a listener.
Means puking coming.
Yeah, when my mouth waters, it's usually puke that comes behind it. I'm a listener from the beginning and have never had an episode that didn't have me intrigued. I love y'all. Heart. I love it. I love that. See, that's the kind of, I don't know, support, ego stroking that we really long for.
That's what we're looking for. You know what I mean?
Ego stroking. Go ahead, stroke our egos. They get really fat and juicy. All right, might check you out next week. And remember, I can't emphasize this enough. Do not get taken to the second location by any means necessary.
No, Adam was not getting taken he was not going into the woods.
No, he was not. No. He gave it a good fight.
Yeah, he did.
Let's say that. Be good or be good at hiding the body. Cheers.
Are you okay? Jesus Christ. You're so fucking loud. You're disgusting and I hate you both.